And with that, we welcome you to the stand. Sheriff Center, Hawaii coming in 4-0 for the first time since 2003 to start the year. Ranked 6th in the AVCA poll, hosting Grand Canyon, the Lopes at 1-2. And of course, these two teams did battle. Was not televised, but battled a couple of nights ago here in this building. Hawaii winning in 3 sets, although each set was particularly competitive, especially in the first set where it was 26-24 Rainbow Warriors.
Each of those sets, I was here that night, was winnable by Grand Canyon, so Hawaii had better watch out and bring all their guns tonight.
Saw the Hawaiian tell FCU starting lineups in that lower right corner of your screen. Hawaii first set goes to Pat Gassman in the middle, and it'll be two-handed over. Chance here for the Rainbow Warriors. Outside, it's Austin Mataltia. He's had now 2 straight matches of putting down 13 kills. He has most certainly been showing his Austin powers as of late.
Oh, I get it. Austin Powers.
What's there to get? It's right out there. The serve by Jennings Franciscovich. Middle set, and that's a well-executed offensive play there for Grand Canyon. Ashton King, a 6'6" redshirt junior from Northridge, California, actually started his collegiate career at Pacific. Left, obviously, as Pacific was shutting down its varsity program. 1-1 here very early in set number 1. Here's Stein von Tilburg. That one off the block. Actually hit the scoreboard. We play on. Tuileta will set up. Von Tilburg goes cross court and wide. And that's a point for the Lopes.
You know, these two teams were so even on Wednesday night that Hawaii really had trouble separating themselves. Grand Canyon not physically imposing, but they play great defense.
Franciscovich goes outside to Stein off the block and down. And that's really kind of the word on Grand Canyon is they may not have the size or the talent in each position that you would see in some of the other MIVA or certainly MPSF programs, but they are as scrappy as they come.
Really are. They're well coached. Matt Willie's done a great job of getting this team to play as well as they can possibly play, night in and night out.
Outside, that's Cullen Mosier, one of the 3 local boys on the roster. He gets stuffed by Pat Gassman and Stein von Tilburg.
Mosier, because that ball was passed off the net there, he's pretty obvious about where that set was going to go. It was going to go to front left. When Grand Canyon can pass the ball up to the net, they can set their middles. That's when they're most effective.
What a serve by Austin Mataltia, the true freshman, leading the team in aces. Deals number 7 on the season out of the deck.
And he was a great server in high school. Everybody knew he'd be a great jump server, but you never know until you get to the big time in Division I whether or not your jump serve is any good. I think he's proven his jump serve is pretty darn good. Another great serve there.
That was a laser. Back row set, and the swing by Will Schwob is dug up. Gassman in the middle.
And not only did Mataltia deliver up a huge serve that forced a bad pass, he passes up a perfect one right there so that Jennings Franciscovich can go to Gassman and establish that middle early.
So already a kill and a roof for Pat Gassman. Off and running here, a 4-0 Rainbow run. Set goes high and away. This is Mosier, goes high hands. Another fisted save this time by Mataltia. Here's Kupono. Oh, with 3 blockers up, 6 hands across the board, and they denied access.
Tough to go past that one other than to go high hands, and I think Kupono did try to go high hands. There's 3 people up. They knew where the set was going. Kupono, I think, tried to hit down the line against the smallest blocker, the 6'2" Milstein, but just didn't work.
Milstein, the setter, with the serve, almost handcuffed Faye there. So Tuileta sets up his former Punahou mate, and it'll be a free ball coming here for the Bows. Jennings, backside to Stein. Off the block and down.
What a dig by Sky Engelman to keep that rally alive for Grand Canyon. Stein Van Tilburg gets a split block. Actually, only had 1 person up there. That's ideal for an attacker.
So a couple of kills on 4 swings for Stein von Tilburg. You get a look at Sky Engelman. We mentioned 3 local players on the roster for Grand Canyon. He is out of Moanalua High School. Set goes middle to Drake Silbernagel, 6'8" senior from Glendale, Arizona.
So when they get the ball passed up to the middle, that's where their 2 most effective hitters lie. That's Silbernagel and Ashton King. 14 and 24. Keep an eye on those two numbers tonight.
And Silbernagel was a bright spot the other night against Hawaii. 5 kills, hits 625, and gets the solo deal right there on Hendrik Mole.
And he also had 3 blocks that night with plays like that. And Silbernagel, a good one. He is their tallest player at 6'8".
An interesting story. He's a graduate transfer from Arizona State. They don't have a varsity program, so he played club volleyball there. Here's Faye. We may have had a whistle. We did. It is a net violation. There was sort of a half whistle that popped out of nowhere in the midst of all of that.
I'm not sure what happened. I'm surprised Coach Worley isn't up to challenge that. I think that really should be a play over, because it looked like it was a mistaken whistle.
Yeah, it sounded inadvertent. But it is a net violation against the Lopes. Point for Hawaii, 7 serving 5, and here it comes from Von Tilburg. Good pass by Engelman. Back row set. Mosier denied by Jennings Franciscovich. How many times have we seen that already this season from Jennings?
Well, he's done such a good job at the net. Hangs, and at the last second taps it down. You got to have some vertical, just like the kind you had when you used to play basketball.
Yeah.
The same thing, you'd hang and then you'd stuff it.
Oh, that brings back so many memories, Chris.
Yeah, I know.
Outside, here's Salev Sahada. He is a 6'6" junior from Israel, an all-MIVA first-teamer last year. Had 7 kills the other night against Hawaii. And gets one right there.
He's a good one. Played from the under-20 Israel beach team, so he's good on the beach as well. In fact, I think their team yesterday did play a little bit of beach volleyball just for something different. They also watched a lot of film of Wednesday night's match.
Well, the service line was a bit of the storyline, certainly, for the two teams the other night. Hawaii, 11 service errors, and that hurt their cause and allowed those 3 sets to all be especially competitive, and we got a mishandle there by the setter, Michael Milstein, perhaps a little confused as to where he was going with it. Timeout taken by Grand Canyon, largest lead of this opening set for Hawaii. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match. Chris, what you got?
For Grand Canyon, it's easy. Finish. They led early in the last 2 sets. Were even in the 20s in all 3 sets and just couldn't finish it. They got to get that other gear and find it. Hawaii, they got to repair their feet. That is a reference to shooting oneself in the foot. Hawaii did that 17 times in the night, and they've got to reduce those unforced errors and walk out with fresh feet.
Hawaii is still hitting 304 for the match the other night. They're at 182 here so far in this first set compared to 100 for Grand Canyon. Backside set. This is Schwob. And that's going to be a point for the Antelopes. Caught a piece of one of the Hawaii players.
Smart play, going high hands. They're looking for Austin Matautia's hands right there and got him.
You also noticed just how high Matautia got on that block attempt. Actually had to duck his head down to avoid getting...
He does get up high, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Armpits.
And we're going to have a challenge here on that last call. Charlie Wade thinking that there was no touch. So take a look at Charlie Wade in his 8th season. And off to a great start. 4-0 for the first time since 2003.
Let's see,
what do you think?
I think there's a field goal. No, it goes outside of Austin's hands. Hard to tell from that angle whether his hand got bent back or not. If we could freeze it right at the hand, that would be the easiest way to do it, but it's really difficult. There we go. Maybe this one will show. Right there. Well, didn't look like his hand got bent back. It's going right outside of the hand. I say the call stands. There's nothing really overwhelming to overturn the call.
I mean, that's the key here, right? This is a challenge review system similar to what we saw throughout the Rainbow Wahine volleyball season, where you could review touches, foot fouls, nets, calls of that variety. Each team with 3 challenges per match, regardless of result. And Dan Hironaka going to let us know that there is no repeal of the initial ruling. Dan Hironaka down on the floor. Dixon Chun is on top of the ladder. Darren Chun, Wes Kawachi, the line judges. Seven serving 10. Diving pass by Tuileta. Franciskovic has to chase it down in front of us. A back bump set to Stein is blocked. Now outside it goes to Mataltia. What a dig by Schwob. And it comes back over for Hawaii. Jennings outside. Austin gets it through that block and down.
Look at this dig by Schwob. He goes down low. That ball was hit hard, and he popped it up, kept it on his side of the net. Watch him again. He stays low. And here's the angle of the shot by Mataltia, but Schwob, what a dig. Dig of the night right there.
A forced overpass on the serve by Mole. Here's Mataltia. Mosier the first touch. Great chase down by Engelman. And a free chance here for Hawaii. D-set to Stein. Oh, and he caught Schwob upstairs. Old school six-pack style.
That ball arrived at it early. Even the quick Schwob could not get it. Watch Schwob in the back right position there. Boom! Catches it right in the noggin. No red marks, though. He's okay.
And Von Tilburg with 3 kills. That one, a little extra emphasis on it. Middle set, that's King. Diving save by Stein back over the net. They go outside this time. Sahada, and he goes down the line and in. Shalev Sahada, he just has that sort of tricky nature to his approach. He can go all kinds of different directions. He's a crafty hitter.
Yeah, he's what's called a, there's the Stein making the dig there, but kind of a clumsy dig with his left hand, one arm, which gave a free ball to the other side, which gave Sahada a chance to show his wares. He does have a lot of shots. He really does.
Gassman starting to develop his own arsenal as well. 6'10" freshman from Clovis, California. Coming into this match, hitting .500 for the season. Actually had some anemic numbers by comparison to what he did in the previous 3 matches the other night. Hit .188, had 7 kills against Grand Canyon. And that serve by Jennings goes long.
Yeah, this Grand Canyon team just sticks around. They hang, they hang. Watch for them to make a mid-set run. If Hawaii's not careful, they can make a run.
Backside, Mataltia up the ladder and down the chute it goes. Well, you said one of your keys, Hawaii had to repair its feet. Mataltia's feet look fine. Look at the way he's getting up off the floor.
He just keeps going. He keeps elevating. He's got another, he goes to another floor.
Yeah, he's up in nosebleed range when he gets up off the Terraflex. Little set, that's Silbernagel dug up. Bump set goes to Stein. Roll shot is in.
How about the bump set from Mataltia? He got an awkward position, but for the perfect bump set to Stein for the kill.
And Hawaii with its largest lead of the opening stanza gets to 15 for.
Rainbow Warrior Volleyball on OC Sports is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii, Kaiser Permanente, and Isla Bear.
Welcome back. Hawaii hitting .368 in this first set. Has a 6-point advantage a little over midway through, Chris.
Well, they're siding out at 80%. That's a huge percentage. You know, 69 to 72 is a good number to side out at, and to be at 80 is tremendous.
Austin Mataltia able to tickle that end line. We may have a challenge here coming from Matt Worley, though. Looks like he's possibly searching for the paddle.
He was sitting right on that end line. I guess he saw it different than his players.
I guess so. He decided against it, kind of turned back towards the bench, reached over, and then maybe changed his mind there. So another ace for Mataltia. He is racking them up this season. Schwob caught a piece of the block, and it's a point for Grand Canyon.
More importantly, Mataltia is not only getting aces, but when he has his serving turn, it's always long. He tends to get point for point because he forces the passers to pass the ball off the net.
Milstein with the serve. First touch, Fay. Middle set, Gassman. There was no blocker up. And Gassman made him pay.
Jennings Francisco has done a much better job of feeding his middles than he did last year. Last year's a little nervous to go to them. He tended to go to the outside, be a little more conservative this year, taking some more chances.
17 serving 10. Hawaii right now in control of this first set. Outside it goes to Schwob off the block, punched up by Matautia. Outside to Faye. And the heater off of the palm of Kupono Faye.
Another nice set. Jennings Franciscovich. Matautia with a dig, puts it up right there where Jennings can set 4 different people.
Kupono Faye averaging, you see the 2.2 kills per set, had 9 kills, hitting 350 the other night versus the Lopes. Here's Mosier off the block and out. So a kill for Cullen Mosier, the 6'1 redshirt junior out of Kamehameha Kapalama, former high school teammate of another Grand Canyon player, Puna Kaniho, who was a reserve setter.
How about those 2 boys graduating in December early?
Unreal.
Now working on their MBAs.
Unreal.
Major kudos to Puna and Cullen.
Stein went off the block and out. Sahada thought he had a solo roof, but it goes out of bounds, and it's a kill for Von Tilburg, his 5th of the match.
His right hand turning, you saw his right hand was turning out toward the sideline. If he'd had that hand straight, would have been straight down.
Well, you know, you mentioned Cullen Mosier and Puna Kaniho, and you know, we talk so much about the achievements of these student athletes on the court or on the field of play, but to be able to do what those 2 are doing, that's a success story unto itself.
It really is. Have them graduate early and then get to pursue an advanced degree.
Joe Worsley on the floor, and also on the floor for the first time since the season opener, Rado Padapunov, number 16. And that's a roof for Hendrik Mol and Kupono Faye.
Probably Hawaii's smallest blocking lineup right here. But even though you're small, you can still block. It just didn't go straight down. Hit the back line.
There's a look at Rado. 6'9" freshman from Bulgaria, had 5 kills in the season opener, but tweaked his knee and hasn't played since. This is his first action since that night. Got a touch there. Worsley goes outside to Faye, cross court, misses wide.
Now, not happy with himself for that swing right there. He knows he should have taken probably another shot other than that one, trying to hit a difficult angle.
Now, when talking about Rado Padapunov, we mentioned the 5 kills versus Erskine in the season opener, but you're particularly excited about this guy, right?
Oh, I love him. It just brings a whole new dimension to this Rainbow Warrior team.
Here he is, and there it was. His first kill since the opener, and boy, that had some smoke tailing off of it.
Whenever you have to prepare for a left-hander, it always makes things just a little more difficult because it demands a different kind of preparation. Not all teams have lefties on them, so sometimes you can't get a practice player to simulate a guy like Padapunov.
21 serving 12. Hawaii trying to run away here. Set goes middle. And Ashton King able to pinball it around the Hawaii defense. But you said in an interview actually on my radio show earlier this week, you said that you thought Rado Padapunov reminded you, and not saying that he is there yet, but reminded you of, and this is like sacred here in this building, reminded you of Yuval Katz.
95, 96, anybody who watched those matches in those days, those were magical days when we'd get 9,000 to 10,000 every night just to see Yuval. And this guy reminds me a lot of him because he can hit that D ball from the back row. He's 6'8", he's a little bigger than Yuval actually, and still has some pretty good hops. He's physically strong. He can hit from the left side well. He's got all the tools. I just hope that left knee of his is just fully taped up right now and got a brace. A little nervous about that. They said it was just a contusion. He just bumped into the Erskine player under the net.
How about that? Into the net by Zachary Melcher, 6'5" junior, who just entered the match. Also on the floor for Grand Canyon, number 25, Matt Kinnebrew, making his first appearance here in the islands. He didn't come out to Hawaii for Wednesday night's match because he's also a grad student, and he had class on Wednesday that he couldn't miss. And here he is getting his first swing, and he handcuffs Kupono Faye.
Good swing. He played 3 years of volleyball at Juniata, where his coach went to school, Matt Worley, And then he had 1 year of track. He's still had another year of volleyball eligibility, so the coaches actually found him at school not trying out. They say, come on, you got to try out.
Here's Patapunov. Wow.
There you go. There you go. Little by little, he's just taking baby steps toward being the magical opposite Hawaii has been seeking, although Van Tilburg's been pretty darn excellent himself. But Patapunov, Bulgarian junior national team, got the best spiker in the junior national team 2015.
Hits it into the net there. And yeah, you know, there is concern certainly for that left knee, but we are told by Charlie Wade and company that there is no structural damage that was suffered in that injury. So it's just a matter of pain tolerance, just a matter of him sort of getting into an area of comfort, both mentally and physically with the knee. Outside, here's Mataltia up on springs, and he hammers it down.
Joe Worsley calling for a little fancy little play there, not out to the pin, but just inside. He catches the outside blocker there. Kidabrew napping.
And it is a aloha ball for Hawaii and an impressive showing here in set number 1. Backside, Kidabrew, the touch, covered by Tuileta. D-set, Torado. Dug up over the net. Worsley, jump set, back row to Mataltia, but the net caught hold of it. And it's a point for Grand Canyon. You still have to like the distribution even on that sequence, even though it didn't result in a point for Hawaii.
Exactly. Joe Worsley very conscious of getting all the hitters involved. And if you're a defender, you don't know where he's going to set the ball. It can be very confusing.
Still aloha ball for Hawaii. Gassman off the block and down. And there is your opening set. Hawaii wins it 25-16 in efficient fashion. It also marked the return of freshman Rado Patapunov. It's starting to get crowded in the arsenal for Charlie Wade. Welcome back. Let's check out how it works, presented by Central Pacific Bank. Chris.
Well, this is how it works when you're a freshman who's maturing quickly. Here's the great jump serve by Asama Tautia. Already got a bunch of aces so far. Forces a bad pass. Then on the ball, it's coming over. Watch this ball pass. He passes that right there on the money where Franciscovich can set Pat Gassman and run a play. Again, we'll see that serve down the line. A tough serve to hit wrist away. And then he's in the back middle there, number 7. Perfect pass where Jennings Franciscovich can run an offense. Austin Matautia, though, the growth and the speed of his maturity, becoming a Division I volleyball player.
Yeah, how surprised are you?
I'm very surprised, but freshmen just don't come around that fast and start changing the culture and changing the landscape of how a team plays. But he's very definitely having an effect on how this volleyball team plays. His serving rotations are great. His pin hitting has been solid. His defense has been great. They've been trying to pick on him serving-wise, and he's been money. And
this is just the start. I mean, he's fresh off the starting line here.
The true test will be next week on the road. He's never traveled before with this team. And in the Pyramid, that's a tough place to play. And he's playing Long Beach State, who's very good.
And 4 kills to go along with 2 aces and 3 digs in that first set. Series record sponsored by Aston Hotels and Resorts. Hawaii leading the all-time series 5-0. Of course, the last meeting a couple of nights ago, Hawaii winning in straight sets. But you saw how competitive each of those sets was. 25-16, though, in the opening stanza here this evening. And Hawaii again donning the uniforms that are taking the men's volleyball world by storm. There was a lot of action on the internet, social media, people who were looking at these jerseys featuring, of course, the Hawaii State flag. They were saying they were some of the coolest jerseys that we've seen in college in a long time.
And Charlie Wade actually told the story behind it. We'll probably talk about it a little more later.
And middle set goes to Ashton King. Basically, Charlie Wade requested something of that design by ASICS, and so they sent him a bunch of samples and a couple of different options. He said that that they've settled on for these particular jerseys, about like the 10th option that was presented. Certainly came out looking very cool as that swing. It's one of those Chris McLaughlin touch-em-alls from Will Schwob. But Charlie said there's also a black edition of this jersey as well as a green edition of this uniform coming. So something to look forward to if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Middle set, that's King. Dug up by Jennings. So Tuileta sets up Von Tilburg with 3 blockers up on him. Now outside, the freshly inserted Luke Turner is dug up. Here's Mataltia. Oh, boy. A slam from Mataltia. He almost took press row out.
Boy, he not only hits high, deep cross court, but look at his line shot. He's got line like nobody's business. I thought Kupono-Fei had a great line shot. Mataltia was starting to match him on that one.
Just so explosive. Loses the joust at the net there. But a net violation is called against Michael Milstein in the process. And so Hawaii still gets the point. And they start set number 2 the way they finished set number 1. Off to a 4-0 start and a timeout taken by Matt Worley. So we'll take a break as well. Welcome back. Let's check out the First Hawaiian Bank top 3. And hey, we just mentioned this guy in the last set. Yuval Kotz, in Hawaii career kill average is number 1 all time, 7.81. More than 2 kills better than the next closest, the great Kostas Theoharides. Of course, Jonas Umloft did his thing for a couple of seasons. I mean, that is the holy trinity of Hawaii men's volleyball in many ways. Out of the timeout, Jennings Franciscovich misses the court wide.
But 7.8 kills percent. Of course, the games are longer then because it was not rally scoring, but still, 7.8 is amazing.
So 1 serving 4 here in set number 2. Hawaii taking the first 25-16, and Stein Von Tilburg going high hands. Outside, a good rip by Luke Turner, 6'5" junior from Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Great set by Milstein, right out to the antenna. Outside blocker Mataltia couldn't quite get there. He hits the line. Great shot by Luke Turner.
5 kills, hit 118 the other night. High and away, the set goes to Stein. He just touches it over. So chance here for the Lopes. They go back row to Sahada, but the set was a little low. And it didn't get over the net. So Austin Mataltia now back to serve. Already has 2 aces in this one. Leads the team with 8 now on the season. Another laser beam forces the overpass. But it's going to be a violation. No, it will not. They're going to give that one to Milstein as Gassman tried to take a free swing. The official did give Grand Canyon the warning on the rotation, but it is a point for the Lopes.
What he was saying was, guys, get back there and serve. Don't stay at the net and jaw about the big block.
Here's Fay by the block and down. Yeah, a little bit of a delay there, rotating there.
Although if I'm the smallest guy in the court and I just blocked a 6'10" guy, I think I'd like to hang around and just kind of linger for a while, wouldn't you?
The official should understand that.
Yeah, let him linger for, you know. Instead, he's telling him to go back and serve in a hurry.
So 6 serving 3 here. Here it comes from Gassman. Sahada has to dive for the first touch. Schwo blocked back. Middle set, that's Silbernagel. One hand set up to Stein off the block. And Jennings Franciscovich has been a human highlight reel here in 2017.
Just for one-handed set, he had to do this. If he had put 2 hands on that, he probably would have double contacted it. It was that tight to the net.
Of course, made it onto Sports Center, Neil Everett's top 10 the other night. I asked Jennings, what was that like, seeing yourself on Sports Center? He said, as Gassman delivers an ace, Jennings said, it was great, but Neil butchered my name.
Well, then, I think that night, after that monster block, I think you said, somebody call Neil Everett. I have a feeling somebody must have called Neil Everett.
Yeah. He heard it. Whatever it was, he heard it. It was the one-handed block, of course, from Jennings Franciscovich, apparently heard across the Pacific. As that serve goes long, much needed point for the Antelopes. But no, he said it was a big thrill. His family checked it out, right? All his family in California and elsewhere. And he said, what I will always take with me is I was 1 spot higher in the top 10 than Steph Curry.
Or Steph Curry, I think, gets in top 10 pretty much every night if he wants to.
Yeah. How about that shot by Von Tilburg? Slicing it hard angle. Stein Von Tilburg now with 7 kills on 13 swings. He's hitting .462. Had 15 kills the other night. And he just kind of gets into his groove against Grand Canyon. In 2 matches last year, both victories for Hawaii, obviously. He had 32 kills total. Of course, coming off of his Outrigger Resorts Invitational MVP award just last week, 2nd straight such honor. He's piling them up. Only a sophomore, Stein Von Tilburg, continuing to do damage.
He's much more efficient, and I think he's wiser in his shot selection this year. And we'll see if it continues to be that consistent.
Here it comes from Kupono. Fei just curls over the net. Set goes to Sahada. Triple block up. Saved by Schwob. Sahada tight to the net. And it's going to be a net violation called against Hawaii.
That was on Jennings Franciscovich, getting a little bit overeager there, trying to stuff it straight down. He caught his forearm with his cable, I believe. We'll check it. Watch Jennings on the outside there, following through and just catching cable.
It's amazing how high over the tape he gets. Now setting up Matautia, also a guy who gets up pretty high over the net. Great diving second touch effort by Turner. One hand set to Mole in the middle, but they're going to call a lift on Jennings. And as the floor captain, he'll get an explanation from the upstairs official, Dixon Chum.
He's saying, how can I mishandle that ball when I only touch it with one hand? And Dixon Chum says, well, it can stay in your hand too long. And that's why the call. Pretty good defense back there in the back row that time by Luke Turner, keeping that rally alive. 16 matches last year, 10 matches as a freshman. All-State 3 times in Wisconsin.
Oh boy, Hendrik Mole pulverizing that set in the middle. Jennings Franciscovich making sure he touched it cleanly that time.
Hendrik Mole, I think he's been all Norway at least 3 or 4 times. More in sand volleyball, though, than in indoor.
His first kill of the match. Middle set, and that one put straight down to the floor by Ashton King. Didn't get all of it, but it certainly was enough.
I'll tell you, if Grand Canyon gets a good pass up to the net, there's a pretty good chance, I'd say about a 75 to 80% chance that they're going to set their middles. Those are the those two guys, Ashton King and Drake and Silbernagel, have gotten more kills and hit for a higher percentage than anybody else in the team.
Outside, here's Matautia taking the elevator a couple of floors higher than everybody else.
You see his shot selection there? Last time they gave him the line, so he hit right down the line. Not an easy shot. That time they took the line away, so he says, okay, thank you very much. I'll go deep corner to area 5. And he does. Such versatility.
And that's an ace from Jennings Franciscovich. He had 2 of those the other night against the Antelopes. And right now we're seeing a Hawaii team that is formidable at the net, a Hawaii team that plays a heck of a lot of defense, and a Hawaii team that can score from the service line, Chris. That's a good combo.
It really is. The big question will be, can they serve this well on the road in gyms they aren't used to? And I think they will.
Good setup in the middle that time for Ashton King from Michael Milstein. Of course, this is the final match of a season-opening 5-match homestand for Hawaii. It's on the road to take on the always formidable Long Beach State program, January 18th and 20th. Long Beach State, though, suffering a loss at USC on Wednesday.
Pretty major upset. SC picked for 10th in the MPSF. And Long Beach State, I believe, picked for 3rd, so that was a pretty big upset.
Outside, here's Stein. Plugs it through that block and down. 8th kill for Von Tilburg.
Jennings Franciscovich, knowing where the small blocker is, Milstein, he's out there on the left side. He also knew that his 6'8" opposite, Stein Von Tilburg, was out there. Nice mismatch for Hawaii.
Matatia again to serve. Good pass by Sahada. A little tight to the net. Now he'll set up his mate on the outside. It's Turner going high hands and getting the job done. Luke Turner has provided a good spark here for Grand Canyon in this second set.
What a smart shot by Turner, who had 5 kills the other night, but he only hit 118 tonight. Hitting a little bit smarter. He sees 3 blockers up, so he just decides to go cut it back down the line, get some high hands. Great play.
And Milstein missing the court wide. That's the 4th service error for Grand Canyon compared to 5 for Hawaii. The Rainbow Warriors once again first to 15. Timeout on the floor. Welcome back. Let's take a look at tonight's Jack Fact. Hawaii 5-0. The Rainbow Warriors have started the season with 4 wins 10 times in the program's 39-year history. A victory tonight would give the Rainbow Warriors a 5-0 start for just the 4th time in school history. Not to mention it would be their first win streak of that length since they won 16 in a row back in 2015. Out of the timeout, service error from Pat Gassman. Hawaii hitting .500 here in this second set compared to .067 for Grand Canyon.
Hawaii with 4 aces, 5 and 6 errors now. Grand Canyon 0 aces, 4 errors.
A little better ratio certainly the other night. Hawaii 2 aces compared to 11 service errors. Stein with a solo blocker up, and it was Sahada. Credit Sahada for not giving up on the play, but that was just a little too much to ask for, and he's grimacing as he gets up to his feet. But again, another example of Jennings Franciscovich keeping the defense along that net guessing.
Yeah, whenever you see the hitters going one-on-one against the blocker, you know Jennings has done his job.
He heads to the bench area. Joe Worsley on to serve. Takes a deep breath, and here it comes. And it's an ace. Took a little time to visualize before sending that one across.
Joe Worsley, you know, you gotta love him. He always makes things happen when he comes in. Here's that cutting dive, you know, ball's just diving as it gets over the net. You see him 3 service aces, 4 errors. That's a great ratio. But, you know, he'll come in and he'll set the ball differently than Jennings does. A little bit quicker tempo. He'll do some unpredictable things. Just a fun guy to watch. He'll dig a lot of balls as well.
So he's out there to serve. Rado Parapunov also back out on the floor. 17 serving 11. And it's an overpass. Put down by Kupono-Fei. He says, Mahalo nui loa.
And you better be thanking Joe Worsley for that, too, because Joe Worsley's serve forced that overpass.
So a timeout taken by Matt Worley. And, yeah, you're right. Joe Worsley doing what he set out to do at that service line. An ace, the overpass, and the put down, which is just as good as an ace. Make the dream of education a reality for our student athletes. Visit hawaiiathletics.com and click on the donate button in the Ahahui Koa Nui Nui banner. Matt Worley, the head coach for Grand Canyon. This is his 2nd season, but his 1st season as a full-time official head coach. He had the interim tag attached to him last year, and interestingly enough, he was also simultaneously the head coach for Mesa Community College's women's program the last 2 years. So a bit of a transition for him now, becoming the full-time head coach. He's a former grad assistant and assistant at Grand Canyon. Played setter at Juniata College in Pennsylvania. Won 3 straight Division III national titles there. Was a 4-time All-American and was even the ABCA Division III Player of the Year back in 2007. He was a good one.
He was. I got to watch him a lot because he was a teammate of my son Spencer. They played on the junior national team together. And so I got to see him every 2 summers in a row anyway, traveling internationally and watching him perform. Really knows his volleyball. He knows how to coach his team.
You know, speaking of McLaughlin's sons, we want to send our best certainly to Parker McLaughlin, your son, who just narrowly missed the cut at the Sony Open at Waialae. What a sporting effort he put forth. 2 under overall through 2 rounds. Missed it by 1 stroke. So Parker, just letting you know, great job out there. Everybody rooting for you, and tough luck that he fell just shy of the weekend.
I didn't get a chance to see him because I had to get here. I missed the last 3 holes, but apparently birdied 3 of the last 5 and just came up short. Missed a 12th at the end.
Here's Schwob off the block and out.
But he'll be playing web.com the rest of the year, so he's excited about that. He'll be going to the Bahamas next. Next week off, he goes to Bahamas.
Certainly showing signs, right? Parker
Right.
Showing signs of getting that game right.
You young'uns would call it trending in the right direction.
There you go. Well done, C-Mac. Here's Mataltia from the back row, and out of that last timeout, the Antelopes showing their toughness up front. That was Ashton King in the thick of things.
Great block. You know, I like the fact that Worsley put up a different set, it's a back row quick. You know, it's a difficult set, tough timing set, and Greg Kenny did a great job of blocking it. When Worsley comes in, he just mixes things up. He does sets that we don't see all night long. All of a sudden, he'll set one, and the other team has really got to be alert. Hard to scout him. You never know what he's going to set.
So 19 serving 13, it's Kupono-Fe. Set goes middle to King, hard angle, misses wide, point for Hawaii. For Kupono-Fe, this has to be kind of interesting, right? I mean, Punahou alum who now has his former Punahou teammate, Tui Tuileta, out on the floor with him in a Hawaii uniform. Kind of revisiting, if you will, some of their success back in high school. They won a lot. Punahou has won, what, 7 of the last 8 state championships? And that one sent long by Schwob, and a point for the Rainbow Warriors. Interestingly enough, you have the Punahou Kamehameha rivalry sort of also being revisited here.
Kaniho against
In fact, they're the last team to beat Punahou when Kaniho and Mosier were underclassmen with Kamehameha Kapalama back in 2011. That's the last time Punahou lost in a state championship game. Sahada, a little extra pop on that one.
You got to remember that Sahada was first team All-MIVA last year. And that's a tough award to win these days, with the MIVA winning the last 3 national championships, 2 by Loyola and 1 by Ohio State, and Ohio State's picked to win this year. Tough league.
Oh, Hendrik Mole. He was floating on a cloud for a few extra moments before putting that set by Worsley down.
I give Hendrik Mole so much credit, playing with, you know, that eye that's just so bothered him so much for the last year and a half. He's literally blind in one eye. Still manages to play middle blocker and put up good numbers.
Sahada, and that was all made possible by an incredible first pass by Sky Engelman, the libero out of Moanalua.
Engelman had a great night the first on Wednesday. 12 digs. He passed the ball 24 times, I think, without an error.
Tuileta actually matching him on the other side with 12 digs of his own. Here's Parapunov. Oh, my goodness.
Did I tell you he's special, Kanoa? He is special. Great set from Worsley, too. Parapunov sees his angle taken away, so he goes down the line. Again, tough to prepare for a left-handed player.
23 serving 15. Rado with the serve. Middle set goes to King. Good dig by Tuileta. Parapunov from the back row. Got it off of a triple blocking down.
That's something Uval used to do. Broken play, set the ball, set him at the 20-foot line with a bump set, and then just go up and tickle the ball right through the block.
Remember, you and Pops used to refer to Uval's swing not as a hand and a wrist, but as a nozzle.
Yeah. I got to give him credit for that. I didn't say that, but that was a great one he came up with. He's got the nozzle working tonight.
Parapunov missing on that serve. It remains aloha ball here in set 2 for Hawaii. But I mean, if this is Rado Parapunov on one leg, imagine when he's 100%. Worsley. Oh, that one missed time. Mataltia 2 hands it over. Outside, it's Turner. One hand save by Kupono-Fe. Gassman sets up Mataltia. Off the block and down. Point for Hawaii. And they win set 2 by the same score as set number 1, 25-16. An excellent effort by Kupono-Fe. And then the big fella, Gassman, setting up the freshman. Matautia with 7 kills, Von Tilburg with 9, and Hawaii can crack open the broom closet. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the McDonald's match statistics. Fairly one-sided, C-Mac.
Yeah, you got it. Look at the kills, 30-17 for Hawaii in almost equal number of attempts. And look at the kill percentage, 469 to 174. Hawaii hits 320, they're happy. But 469, that's crazy. And blocks about even. Digs, Hawaii with 5 more. And finally, the serving that Hawaii has 5 more aces. Of course, they got 7 errors, but 5 more aces is pretty amazing that Hawaii has put so much pressure on the Grand Canyon passers.
It's certainly a different way this match has played out in each of these sets than what we saw 2 nights ago, where each set was very competitive, especially the first was 26-24. What is Hawaii doing differently here 2 nights later?
I think the serving, they're putting so much pressure on that. Grand Canyon relies on their middle attackers, 14 and 24, and they haven't been able to pass the ball up to the net enough to give them enough sets. Without those 2 middle attackers, Grand Canyon is a so-so team. They're much, much better when those 2 people can hit the ball a lot.
Well, we got some new faces out there on the floor here in this match for the Rainbow Warriors. Dalton Solberg, the 6'6" sophomore middle. He gets the start here in set number 3. Brett Rosenmeyer, another sophomore from Virginia Beach, also at 6'6", outside hitter. He's out there to start this 3rd set. And Rado Parapunov, 4 kills on 5 swings, no errors. Came in off of the bench the first 2 sets. Here he is starting set number 3, which is a good sign because that means that left knee is feeling all right.
Yeah, I thought that Charlie would rest him after the 2 sets and let it, just call it a night. It looks like he's going to let him play again.
So here is the serve by Shalev Sahada. Outside, it's Stein Von Tilburg, and Hawaii just keeping the pressure on. Von Tilburg now hits double digits. He's got 10 kills. This fresh off his 15-kill performance the other night where he hit 333. He's hitting tonight
562, what a big number. Well, he did say one of his goals was to bring his errors down and be a more efficient hitter for a higher percentage. And he's doing that right now.
Backside set, that's Schwob. And he missed it wide. He tried to touch it off the block. And now a little change of heart from Dixon Chun. Initially signaled the point to Hawaii.
I think Dixon Chun saw the amount of protest that was going on. There's the, oh yeah, definite touch. It would have been, the challenge would have definitely been overruled if it was Hawaii side out.
Worsley sets up Rado off the block, kept alive by Solberg. Other side, it goes to Stein, high hands. Good save back there by Sahada. The set goes outside to the newly inserted Cody Williams. Here it comes from Tui to Stein, high hands again. What a save, Sahada! But a miss hit on the second touch there by Zach Melcher, who just checked in. He's another setter on the roster. And it's a point for Hawaii.
Tui Letta giving Stein the set. Great save in the back, and then they just could not handle it at the net.
Hawaii hitting 453 for the match compared to 163 for Grand Canyon, but Von Tilburg missing on that serve. In that second set, Hawaii went big, 579 compared to 091 for the Antelopes. It's dominating in just about every fashion.
Look at the slide out percentage. Hawaii 84% to Grand Canyon's 55.
Here's Parapunov off the block. Solberg the save. Worsley goes opposite way this time. And Rosenmeyer is dug up. Another chance here for Hawaii. Worsley middle to Solberg. Things a little bit in disarray, and we have an inadvertent horn. And so the whistles come, and they're going to have to replay that point.
It looks like there was the wrong server. Yeah, the wrong server went back to serve.
So it wasn't inadvertent. I mean, that thing played through for quite a while before they blew the horn.
So down here, Naka's going over to Matt Worley, Grand Canyon coach and letting him know that the wrong person went back to serve. I think the players know it. And now Worley will ask, who is our next server, is what he's asking.
It was Schwob, I believe, who served. And again, that sequence played on for quite some time before that horn came. Why perhaps we thought maybe it was inadvertent, but
it's not unusual for the scorekeepers to take maybe 10, 15 seconds to figure that out and double check to make sure they don't hit that horn and stop play too early. They got to be really sure that's the wrong server.
They're still trying to straighten things out with Matt Worley. Grand Canyon under first-year head coach Matt Worley last season went 17-12. That was the best overall record in Grand Canyon program history. They started the season in similar fashion to what Hawaii's trying to do here tonight with a 5-0 record. That included wins over conference rivals Ball State, Lewis, and Loyola of Chicago.
Those are big wins. I don't think they'd ever done that in the history of the program. They beat those big-time teams, Lewis, Ball State, and Loyola, are really good players, good teams. All of them were ranked in the top 13 in the country at the time. And
again, they will join the MPSF next season. Hawaii making its final run through the MPSF this year before jumping into the newly established Big West.
It's a natural move for Grand Canyon to make. They're located in Phoenix, Arizona, so for them to be even considered a Midwest team geographically really is a stretch, wouldn't you say? They're closer to the Pacific coast than they are to the Midwest.
Well, they're growing at a rapid pace, for sure. They began as an NAIA program, transitioned to NCAA Division II in the 90s, turned Division I in 2013, and here they are now in men's volleyball, about to join the MPSF, which, of course, even with its trimmed-down roster, will be fully stacked, as that was a hammer levied by Silbernagel, and our camera guy, Pat, he paid the price as it went off of Von Tilburg and gave Pat a little bit of the facial action.
Nice of Solberg to come out and check to see how Pat's doing.
Outside, here's Rosie, dug up over the net, beautifully done there by Engelman. Rosenmeyer a second time made sure Hawaii gets the point.
So this Grand Canyon team brings up a lot of balls. They play some great defense, and I think they're going to be really good. They're going to pull off some upsets in the MIVA this year.
Preseason pick to finish 6th in that conference. Ohio State, the defending national champs, picked first. Ball State, by the way, which Hawaii dispatched in 4 sets last week. Preseason pick to finish 4th. We're seeing some hard ricochets. That one almost came towards us. We almost got the treatment that Patrick just got a few moments ago. 5 serving 3. Parapunov with the serve. Outside set, Sahada kind of drove it down that line, and it's good for an Antelopes point.
Smart shot by Sahada. The block is well formed. You see, it's just a little bit of line open. He taps it down. Didn't even spike it. Just a hard driving tip shot.
Worsley goes high, backside on the D set. Torado off the block, played off the ricochet by Von Tilburg. Here's Parapunov a second time. Good looking dig there by Melcher. Two-handed over. Another free chance here for Hawaii. Worsley, back row to Stein. Kill number 11 for Von Tilburg.
That was a good sequence for both teams. Certainly the back row quick or the Bick is something that Stein does not get very often. Normally he hits the D ball, but now Parapunov has got his spot right now, playing opposite the center. So Rado is hitting the D ball.
Stein hit 526 tonight. Sahada, Worsley got a touch. Stein off the bump set, blocked and roofed. 3 blockers up that time for Grand Canyon, and Will Schwob one of them.
I think Ashton King might have gotten all of it here. Watch number 14 in the middle there. No, it was not. Schwob got all of it.
So So 5 serving 6. Anna Lopes going to play that feisty style. Gassman with the diving save made on his swing by Cody Williams. Free chance here for Hawaii. Worsley outside to Stein. Laying the smackdown.
Worsley noticed that the Grand Canyon block was going to commit on Dalton Solberg, so he went to the outside. Wise move by Worsley.
And Tilburg, whose parents are in town, he was taking them out for a cruise through Waikiki last night. Off night.
Theo and Bridget.
Sahada into the pin. Point for Hawaii, and it's 8-5.
Watch for another early timeout by Worley. He cannot afford to have the Rainbow Warriors get too far ahead, get too much separation.
You may have noticed here through this third set that Stein von Tilburg getting a lot of swings on that left side. He is playing the outside position. That's, of course, with Rado Parapunov on the floor, being more the force on the opposite side.
Yeah, Kapono Fei and Austin Matautia both sitting out this particular set.
And that's kind of one of the luxuries that Charlie Wade has to deal with here.
He can throw so many lineups, let me tell you.
Parapunov, he packed a punch there, but sent it long, and it's a point for Grand Canyon. And that was one of the ideas tossed around, right, with Parapunov and Stein von Tilburg competing heavily on that opposite side throughout the run-up to the season. He said, hey, look, if Rado is the guy on the opposite side, that at least gives us the option to maybe put Stein on the outside. And they are just huge up front if that's the case. Nice swing there by Cody Williams, 6'4" junior. He's an in-state product from Anthem, Arizona.
I watched him practice the other day, and he was having quite the day versus the first team. He was on the B team. And I asked one of the players, I said, why hasn't he played yet? And I said, oh, he just hadn't gotten in the lineup yet. Oh, my goodness, look at Rosenmeyer coming out of the back row.
I mean, they just have weapons everywhere.
Here's Rosenmeyer hitting the back row quick. Made famous by John Spraw at UC Irvine when they won all their national championships. He loved that back row quick play. He would set it to death.
Just under 2,200 the announced attendance here tonight.
Watch the attendance grow this year.
That's what I was just about to say.
So fun to watch. People have got to come down to see this team play live in person. They play great defense. They have great chemistry. Very physical.
Yeah, it's definitely off to an intriguing start here this year for Charlie Wade's bunch. And that was an easy net violation call as Solberg got a little over-exuberant there at the net.
He's going to be much more patient in a play like that.
6'6" sophomore from Lindenhurst, Illinois, appeared in 6 matches as a reserve middle last year. Here's Stein. Oh, my word. Just pulverizing that set.
And Larry Tuiletta's perfect pass allowed Solberg to take the middle blocker with him. That time he took Drake and Silbernagel and allowed Stein to be one-on-one on the outside again. Hawaii's offense really ramping it up.
10 serving 9. Overpass, and Rosenmeyer wins the joust. It's a point for Hawaii. Rainbow Warriors, we mentioned some of the streaks. 4-0 for the first time since 2003, trying to win 5 straight matches, which would be its longest win streak since they won 16 in a row back in 2015. That one goes off the block and down. Will Schwob with the kill, but they're also looking to improve to 9-0 in their last 9 home matches dating back to last year.
Charlie Wade looking like they're having a bad night. He's a smile, don't you think? Because the team's playing well.
A little bit tighter here in the third set, though. Backside to Rado. blocked and roofed. Give that one to Cody Williams, solo style. And we're tied for the 6th time in this 3rd set. Cody Williams providing some energy off of the bench here for Grand Canyon. Worsley goes outside to Rosie. How about the dig by Engelman? Triple block up. Forget about it. As Cody Williams had that one returned to sender.
One little grab right there. Sky Engelman popping it straight up, and here's the big block. 6'8", 6'4", Solberg 6'6". Big block.
And here is James Anastasiadis. Freshman for Hawaii. Back row set. Von Tilburg able to plug it through that block and down. Hawaii gets the 13.
Hawaii coming up with a whole new dimension in their offense right now, setting lots of bigs or back row quicks. It's a low set to setting that pipe area, and it's really been effective.
So 6'5" freshman James Anastasiadis with the serve. Haven't seen him in a little while, since the opener, really. And another good swing from Cody Williams. And Anastasiadis will come out as Solberg comes back in, and that allows the libero Tui Tuileta to head back out onto the floor. And Cody Williams will serve. Sends it long. Ill-timed service errors have certainly hurt the cause for Grand Canyon here in this one.
And that allowed Hawaii to rotate Larry Tuileta into the middle of the serving pattern on the next rotation, so he can pass lots of serves.
Parapunov with the serve. The set will go outside to Sahada, tight to the net. He goes off of one leg and is able to launch it off the block and out. So the Lopes hanging tough here in the 3rd. Hawaii up 2-0. It was 25-16 in each of the first 2 stanzas. And Drake Silbernagel to serve. One of the many on this roster going for his masters in business. And Pat Gassman gets the kill for Hawaii, 1st to 15 once again. So timeout on the floor. The Rainbow Warriors hoping to close the books. Time now for the Fujitsu air conditioning cool play of the match. And this is Stein Von Tilburg delivering the facial, C-Mac.
Well, his ball just arrived so quickly when he gets on it. This time, Jennings Franciscovich gives him a perfect set. He goes back and just clocks William Schloeb, and that was quite a shot.
Yeah, that's a cool play for everybody except Will Schwob.
Yeah, that's right.
That was very uncool of a play from his vantage point. 15 serving 13 out of the timeout. Outside, it's Sahada, blocked back. Engelman goes to Schwob through the block and down. And we hear a horn. And Charlie Wade going to have a discussion with Dan Hironaka.
Hey, Libro, you see the Libro coming?
You see a replay. Nice set there from Engelman.
I'm not sure what the question is, because Engelman was definitely behind the 3-meter line.
Now, Charlie Wade wanting to talk apparently about that. Certainly, the set was from behind the 3-meter line. That, for your information, under the construct of the review system, that would not be a reviewable play.
What if they're talking about, yeah, Schwob was a front row player. Charlie Wade might have thought that Schwob was a back row attacker, and he couldn't attack in front of the 3-meter line. But he was a front row player.
So Charlie Wade argues to no avail, and it will be 14 serving 15.
Now this set is more like all 3 sets the other night when they were very closely contested.
Here's Von Tilburg trying to restore some order here. He has quietly, or maybe not so quietly, had just a monster night. 15 kills, hitting .520. It's just been kind of by design and sort of business-like for Stein Von Tilburg.
Yeah, and everything he touches seems to turn to gold and go in. He's paying very close attention to being efficient, not making any errors.
Sahada dug up over the net by Rosenmeyer. They go to Sahada a second time off of one leg. About as unorthodox an approach as you'll see, and he puts it down for a kill.
And he was... Watch Worsley take his hands down because he doesn't want to get tooled. Instead, it goes right over his head and into the court. He was hoping that Sahada would hit the ball towards the stands and not into the court.
Solberg getting denied there, and we're tied again for the 7th time here in the 3rd set. Sahada with the serve. Worsley outside. Here's Von Tilburg. Diving save Sahada, but nobody had the second touch. And Hawaii back up 17-16. Worsley back to serve.
Von Tilburg going over the block. It's actually a well-formed block. They're out there waiting for him. But when Stein gets up and he reaches at a high contact point, which is probably around somewhere between 11.6 and 12 feet, it's very difficult to stop him. You better have defenders in the back row ready to dig a ball that's going to arrive very quickly.
17-16, Worsley sends it long. So this is a more competitive 3rd set, but part of the reason for that is there's been a little bit of pressure let off of the gas pedal, it seems, from the Hawaii side, perhaps by virtue of some of the substitutions. Certainly players playing in different rotations here in this 3rd set.
And Grand Canyon's played better this set.
Here's Rado, straight down to the floor. Will Schwob is going to need some ice packs at the end of this one. He was victimized by Stein Von Tilburg in the Fujitsu air conditioning cool play we saw moments ago, and here it comes from Rado.
He didn't get a facial there, but he did have a very difficult ball to dig.
18 serving 17. Here's Schwob trying to exact some vengeance, gets blocked back. Now on the other side, Williams, triple block up. Williams a second time, blocked back again. Schwob two-hands it over. Chance here for Hawaii. Worsley outside to Rosie. Back over the net. Rosenmeyer got denied by the tape. And another fantastic save just to keep the sequence alive by Shaleb Sahada.
Great rally. Once again, Grand Canyon coming up with key digs to keep themselves in the game. Defense really is has been their mantra tonight.
But alas, service error. Again, at the most inopportune time for the Antelopes. And Matt Worley can just watch in at least mild disgust.
I think that's their 8th service error and maybe their 9th. And they just don't have service aces to offset that.
Worsley goes backside. Parapunov, the touch. Sniffed out by Williams. Outside, it's Schwob. And he's able to steer it down the line. So Grand Canyon hanging tough. We are tied again. It has been back and forth, seesaw-like here throughout this 3rd set. Hawaii winning in dominant fashion the first 2 stanzas. Cody Williams again to serve. Misses wide. How about the stare down by Tui Tuileta as that one tickled the tape and he just watched it up close.
Yeah. He is some kind of libero, I'll tell you. Not many better, I don't think, this year in the country in Division I men's volleyball.
12 digs the other night against Grand Canyon. Almost came up with one right there. He's got 7 digs in this match.
Sky Engelman's pass that time on Parapunov's serve. That was a terrific pass right on the net.
So it's 20 serving 20. Another out serve. And again, Hawaii actually has more service errors, 11 compared to now 10 for Grand Canyon. But it's the timing of these service errors that have really hurt the Lopes.
And I love that serve, too, by Drake Silvernagle. He's got that hybrid serve that's half jump float, half jump serve.
And Jennings Franciscovich back into the match. Worsley receiving an applause as he makes his way back to the bench area, and Brett Rosenmeyer to serve. 21 serving 20. Pops straight up in the air by Sahada. He gets the set on the outside, hits the antenna, and it's a point for the Rainbow Warriors. They have a 2-point cushion.
The challenge coming up, because Sahada thinks that ball hit the block.
He might have a case.
He does. That will be overruled.
You see his reaction.
It should be a quick overrule. Once Dan Hironaka looks at the replay on this, he'll see that the ball hit the block and then the antenna, and not the reverse.
It was shock and awe from Shalev Sahada.
You see the ball hit the Franciscovich's arm, and then it hits the antenna. Easy overrule.
So instead of 22-20, we will have a tie score here in the third. And Hironaka pulls off the headset. He's going to probably need our monitors now. So Dan Hironaka watching himself, watching the monitors. Waiting for the replay to pop up. Here it comes.
There it is. Watch, it hits the Jennings Franciscovich's forearm, and then it hits the antenna. Easy call.
And these calls at this juncture of a set, or even at this juncture of an overall match, so crucial because of the swing, right? Instead of a 2-point advantage for Hawaii, we're tied again, and the serve and side belongs to Grand Canyon. Dan Hironaka gives the point to the Rainbow Warriors.
I wonder what he was looking at. Wasn't it obvious to you? I mean, or is it just me?
It looked like an open and shut case.
Open and shut as easy as it gets.
I mean, we
should, I tell you what, Worley right now should pick up his paddle and challenge the challenge.
Instead, he's going to signal for a timeout. I got to be honest. I mean, we thought that was a done deal. Hawaii by
2. Rainbow Warrior Volleyball on OCSports is sponsored by Strong and Hawaii Honda Dealers.
Welcome back. Discussion between Dixon Chun and Dan Hironaka a few moments ago. This following the review, Dan Hironaka taking a look at this, and the initial call was that it hit the antenna, point Hawaii. He took a look at it. It looked very clear and obvious to us that it was off the block first before it hit the antenna. But Dan Hironaka did not reverse it. Instead, the call was upheld. Matt Worley beside himself. Dan Hironaka actually talking with Dixon Chun. There was a lot of doubt and uncertainty sort of stirring around the playing area. But in the end, it's a 2-point advantage for Hawaii. And Chris McLaughlin, you haven't closed your mouth since.
It's hard to believe that. It seemed to me like it was pretty obvious.
Great dig by Tuileta. Here's Stein winding up. Diving save Engelman. Sahada blocked in a room. Jennings Franciscovich says, oh, no, you don't.
Scott Engelman once again digging in the back row. Picks up his 5th dig of the night. Franciscovich, boy, what a year he's had blocking so far. In the five matches, he's just been brilliant.
And how big of a swing, or how big of a non-reversal did that turn out to be? Now, we don't want to throw Dan Hironaka under the bus too many times here. I mean, he is a fine official and is certainly one of the most reliable and credible that we have.
Sure.
But on that occasion, it did appear as though the replay proved that it went off the block first, and now you look at it, it's a 3-point advantage for Hawaii. They're closing in on a sweep.
Yeah, it could have been 21 all instead of 22-20, as you said. In rally scoring, it's, you know, especially when the game is close. You know, you go from tied, all of a sudden you're down 2. How does that happen?
Take yet another look here. I mean, it.
Yep, goes bounces off the forearm.
I mean, it's obvious.
The antenna didn't move until it hit the forearm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. It's pretty frustrating for Grand Canyon. Remember I said that one of the keys to the game tonight was finish. Because on Wednesday night, Grand Canyon could not finish despite being very much in all 3 sets. Could have won the first one at 26-24. And tonight, they're finally in one, trying to finish, and then they get a call that was unfortunate.
Now, it is not over yet, though. 23-20, certainly the advantage with Hawaii, but they've come back to earth a little bit after hitting 400 in the first set, 579 in the second set. They're at 200 here. Still a couple of points away from finishing the deal. Here it comes from Brett Rosenmeyer. Jump serve is handled by Cody Williams. High and away, it goes to Sahada, blocked back. This time they go to the opposite way. Schwob, Gassman, and Stein.
Look at that block, 6'8" and 6'10". Would you want to hit against that? Oh my goodness, the set was a little inside. Schwob really had nowhere to go. He tried to go line, didn't work. Just too much wall there.
A block big enough to blot out the sun, and Hawaii now at Aloha Bowl for the match. Can they improve to 5-0 in 2017? Engelman the first touch. Bump set goes cross court, and it's going to be a free ball coming for Hawaii. Franciscovich outside to Stein. Off the block and down. And this one is Paul. Hawaii takes it. Ekahi, Elua, Aloha. And they're now 5-0.
Stein Van Tilburg getting 17 kills from every part of the court. Left, right, back right, back middle, hit the bit. He's all over the place tonight.
17 kills for Stein Van Tilburg, the only player on either side with double figures in that category. He hits 536. Let's take a look at the Bank of Hawaii players of the match. What a shocker. Shalev Sahada, 9 kills, 263, 2 blocks, 5 digs for Grand Canyon. And just went through the numbers for Stein Van Tilburg. His sophomore campaign has been brilliant through 5 matches. Hawaii 5-0. They have dropped just 1 set so far this season, Chris. But certainly the opposition is about to step up a few notches as they get ready to go on the road next week to Long Beach State.
You're right. Charter Wade's got some difficult decisions ahead in that he's got to figure out what's going to be my MPSF lineup now that the MPSF has seen all of his players. That all these games go into a film bank, so I guarantee you Long Beach State is going to be watching all of Hawaii's matches, and they're going to be saying, okay, let's see. What are we going to do if Parapunov's in? What are we going to do if Van Tilburg's the opposite? What are we going to do if Worsley sets? What are we going to do if Franciscovich sets? I mean, there's a lot of issues that are going to come up that I think are going to make it hard to scout Hawaii, frankly. But they're going to have to ramp up their play for next week against Long Beach State.
Scott Robbs has Charlie Wade. Scott.
Hey, thanks a lot, Kanoa. Coach, you won the first 2 sets very easily. In the third, he made some substitutions, and we got to see Van Tilburg and Parapunov on the floor together. Is that something that possibly we could see more of this year?
Yeah, we got a lot of good players, so we're trying to get as many guys out there. I thought Rosenmeyer played good too, and he had great service turn there at the end. So we still very much are a work in progress. We got a lot of work to do to keep improving, and that's our focus, and just fortunate to get the win.
Okay, men's volleyball, you don't have much of a warm-up before conference play begins next week on the road. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, well, we're going to find out whether we are or not. We got 3 big matches, play Wednesday, Friday, so we leave Monday morning, play out Long Beach on Wednesday, Friday again, and then Saturday at Irvine, so a pretty brutal trip. But, it's exciting just to get out on the road and travel with these guys and really see. Long Beach is one of the preseason favorites, so we're going to find out where we are. I know we're excited to take on the challenge.
Well, best of luck on the road, and we'll see you when you get back.
I appreciate it. Aloha.
Charlie Wade, head coach of the Rainbow Warriors, Kanoa.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Charlie Wade, you heard, cautiously optimistic, shall we say. But C-Mac, let me turn the question to you. What you've seen through 5 matches from these Rainbow Warriors here in 2017, how ready are they to be a potential threat in the MPSF?
I would say they are very ready. I've been impressed with all their play. Even though the competition level has been a little bit down. Ball State was a really good team, better than I thought they'd be, more like that was an MPSF match we saw that night. And this Grand Canyon team the other night really gave Charlie Wade's team all they could handle. But what is forced is Charlie Wade's had to go to develop his bench. And I think that his hardest problem is going to be, okay, what's going to be the starting lineup on Wednesday? Yeah. That's going to be the most difficult thing. And how's the team going to play in the pyramid? How are they going to travel on the road? Who will be the travel squad? It might be difficult traveling that, picking that. So there's some great answers. All of those are nice problems to have, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Those are luxuries for sure, as opposed to something negative from Charlie Wade's vantage point. But you're right. The return of Rado Parapunov, what does that do to the starting rotation that we saw play so well in the 3 matches leading up to tonight? So Charlie Wade will try to tinker that. He'll get into the lab and he'll work on those starting lineups and rotations as they get ready for MPSF play, starting up on the road at the always difficult Pyramid, taking on Long Beach State. There is something that is brewing here in Manoa, though, and it could be something special. So to the fans out there, when this team returns back home, we implore you, check them out. Post-game show coming up, Hawaii 5-0. For Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. Until next time, aloha.